Hi guys, welcome Seb and Santiago. It's great to have you here. And today we're going to be talking about the general state of Solana in 2025, as well as a general overview of where airdrops and DeFi are headed in the following year. Great to have you here. Maybe we can start with a quick introduction. Maybe start with Seb.
Sure. My name is Seb Monty, and I create a whole lot of content, more so on Solana, some things on airdrops, some things on DeFi, or just general news. I'm also the general manager of validator.com, talking about staking your Solana. And I'm also covering some other ecosystems that I think have valuable opportunities. But when it comes to airdrop farming, I'm keen to hear your guys' views.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Santiago. I'm a co-host of Cryptocurrency State with Boris. I started super active in crypto in 2017. I had contact with Bitcoin and stuff before, but super active since then. And yeah, we are really focused on airdrop farming. I think that is the best thing to do in crypto when you are new, instead of jumping into trade and lose your money. We saw that doing airdrop farming, it was a great way to learn about crypto and also get real rewards with low risk. So our channel is mostly focused on that. We also have some yield farming stuff lately. We of course talk in a private community, crypto portfolios, strategies, and altcoin portfolios, etc. But yeah, mostly airdrop farming.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. I was thinking perhaps we can just take a quick general look on how Solana is doing over the last year and a half. What are the top projects and what are you maybe most excited about regarding 2025? So we can see that maybe I can share my screen. So basically we can see that Ditto is still the premier liquid staking platform on Solana. This is the best place to park your liquid stake SOL if you want exposure to that. But yeah, Jupiter, of course, we have Jupiter Airdrop coming in January. This is something we can touch on really quickly because both our channels have already mentioned it. But yeah, this is going to be great because there are very, very good tiers. So for 29,000 volume, I think, something like that, was actually the cutoff criteria for the third type tier. So a lot of the wallets who have been farming airdrops and just Solana in general, they should be able to get that. And then you have the classic ones, but the ones we're going to be talking about the most today is probably going to be Meteora, because this is probably the best airdrop target for Solana. What do you think about Solana airdrops in these recent times, Seb? What is the best one that you believe still worth farming?
Okay, well, so I don't actually farm things. I just use things, and I've just managed to get lucky and get rewarded sometimes.
Yeah,
but I guess
that's how it works.
I guess I've got a not a specific strategy, so I'm definitely keen to hear yours. But I like to use the things that I really like. And then that way I'm just using them anyway. So I'm happy to use Camino more because then I get more Camino points, which, goes to a token. It's not going to be anything crazy though. Obviously Jupiter, like using it plenty because, it's a great product and that's, the reality there. But, upcoming, it's kind of hard to look at really big upcoming things. I think, Pump Fund would probably be decent, but that's not an easy thing to farm. So
yeah.
yeah. I actually have more of a thesis that's not really related to Solana, that other blockchains will try and attract it. But obviously Solana is where I play most of the time. And it is hard right now to work out what's going to be the next big thing. But I think you've got some information on this later, but I do think somehow it's going to pivot into AI agents.
Definitely.
They will try to keep the momentum of whatever their market cap is, and if you use them or whatever, there's going to be some sort of big airdrops just in order to just create a cult, would be my major prediction.
Yeah, definitely. We're actually going to touch on some agents, virtuals platform in general, how it's taken the world by storm. Like there's so many new functionalities being added every week. I'm super happy that I've been farming Meteora for a couple months now, because getting exposure to AI agents meta through Meteora by simply, okay, first you degen into something new and then you start researching when you're already in the pool, okay, what actually the ape into? And then you realize something like ARC protocol, which is almost like virtuals on Solana. So that was insane. Like we're going to touch on some of these later. It's remarkable. So yeah, it's amazing. And so it was $29,000.
I didn't even say, but like if I was going to put all of my attention on one airdrop, and if I had the time to learn it, it would be Meteora. Meteora is literally it's growing its TVL, which is great. But not only that, like if you know how to use it and if you level up your skills, I think it's the fastest way to turn a little bit of cash in with a strategy up to a whole lot of cash, because it's just there's no other tech like it on any other blockchain.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like personally, I'm not really big on meme coins, but you have to learn really quickly and adapt to new scenarios when using Meteora. So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So you were saying you're bullish on Camino for 2025. Is there any particular reason? Was airdrop number 2 better, or how much did you get from number 1 and 2? There was 2 already, right?
Yeah, there's been season 1 and season 2. It's not I'm not thinking of it like that. Season 3, we don't know when it's gonna come again. It's more like if you want to use something that I think has a lot of trust to borrow, say, against your Sol or Ditto Sol or something like that, or I wouldn't use it for everything, but if you are living in a world where I am, where I think Sol is going to go far higher than what it is currently at around $200, then I'm far more inclined to put some Sol or Ditto Sol that I'm not staking. I put it in there and I borrow US dollars against it, and I go and live my life, pay my bills, and doing all those different actions, as well as using like the JLP multiply. Those things I like, and then you get Camino points for it. And I do think Camino is a multi-cycle product. I don't think they're going to be beatable for the borrow lend market on Solana, and they're shipping more and more things. And the best comparison is something like Aave. And if you just compare market caps, which I know doesn't work perfectly well, I getting those tokens now, they're like 20 cents. I think Camino will go do a 5x at the very least. And yeah, that's why I just think it's good. Sometimes it's nice just to get points for something just because you're using it and you like it and you're using it organically. It's not perfect. It's not even it doesn't even have a tiered approach, so you can't even you can't Sybil it, you can't create 10 wallets and do better than one person that uses one wallet. But just in general, it's just nice to know that you've got some upside in that token just by using the actual DAO.
I think that is the case with Meteora, right? Many of us are starting to learn how to use Meteora to actually get gains for ourselves. And in the meantime, you know that you are generating probably those points on fees for a possible airdrop. Just in terms of Solana, I will do a little of recap. If you, Boris, can share again DeFi Llama on Solana, because Seb mentioned something that I think is really important for at least the airdrop hunter path, which is that we sometimes forget about the next season rounds of airdrop. So even if I took Camino, for example, right now, if you do some search on YouTube or Google itself, you know that there's less people talking about Camino right now, but Camino could be landing another airdrop soon in 2025. The same happened with Shito. Of course, it was a lot of pump when Shito landed the first airdrop, but right now nobody's talking about Shito, to be honest. You don't see much coverage right now. And the same happened with many of the other top protocols there on the list. Marinade, well, we have issues with that, but Drift was another example. The first airdrop, it was great for me at least. And I know many of our community did a lot of money on that. And again, that is why I agree with what Seb said, that if you're using some protocol organically, then if you just want to farm airdrops, basically what you do is do the same in different protocols. So instead of just be married with your favorite protocol, you just need to do the same in different protocols. The same is with trading. If you are a trader, then you have a ton of protocols right now that you can be applying and getting volume and airdrop. So it's Jupiter, but it's also ShareBT that we are covering in our channel, and many others, of course. So I think if you don't want to really get into hundreds of wallets and farming airdrop, that it's going to take you too much time that you really need to dedicate. Just do what you do in multiple protocols. That would be my first advice if you want to have more exposure to airdrop.
It's been very liquidity based over the last half a year anyway, so finding the best places to park capital is usually a very good strategy. But yeah, maybe we can also touch on a little bit on Aptos and SUI. Do you think they're like Solana killers, or is it something that's not really happening in your experiences, guys?
Yeah, look, I don't think Aptos is a Solana killer. I don't think a Solana killer exists. I started in crypto in 2017 and everything was an Ethereum killer and then whatever. But I know it makes a good buzzword. Aptos, I don't know much about it, but it's a little bit bearish when the CEO quits, right? Rumor has it he's stepping down to pursue something else. Like he's gone through the bear market. They raised a decent amount. He's got some tokens that are vested, and then he's quitting. So that I don't believe that is that's not good public relations. It's not going to build trust. That to me, it's not a contender. SUI, I feel is far more of a contender, especially for airdrops. And that is because I do think Solana is too congested with people. So the chain still works. Chain works well. The validators do their job. Ditto does fantastic things. Everything's working. But now, like this, there's so much attention on Solana. It has the most number of daily active addresses, and it just does really well. Base is getting quite a few things happening over there. But SUI is another easier to onboard blockchain, I feel. And I think they're just going to, like, I don't know what their exact strategy is, but you can see it with a whole lot of dApps. It's just like, we're doing a points farming campaign. We'll do this, do this. And not only that, the actual official SUI wallet, which, like, you can use whatever wallet you like, but this is one that Mistin Labs, the creators of SUI, actually have created. You jump into that wallet and it literally will show a pop-up saying, if you go and deposit into this dApp, there's a $25,000 airdrop campaign on, or there'll be lucky winners, or there'll be 10,000 wallets selected or something. It's like literally prominently pasted in that dApp. So I think that will pull people over. And there's another indicator that I've used in the past, and this is certainly your specialty. So if you disagree, I'm happy to hear it. But previously, last cycle, a lot of funds kind of moved to Polygon as soon as Aave went over there. And then they offered, rewards, the Matic token, all that sort of stuff. And that, rewards just went there, and then they went to AVAX, and then, different ecosystems. And if you followed the money, and if you got in while funds were being bridged across there, you knew there's a lot of hype going into an ecosystem. And right now, the amount of bridged TVL that's going to SUI has been picking up considerably.
Yeah, it was remarkable to see, because actually I think the biggest catalyst was when Coinbase directly allowed USDC deposits to SUI. That was the easiest way to onboard so many users. It was one of the bigger catalysts. But yeah, TVL on all these chains has been up only, and it's really amazing to see. Kria and Bucket are two best projects to farm airdrops on SUI at the moment, right, Santiago? Do you have a third one maybe?
I will launch another this week. But yeah, we covered Bucket and Kria, one of the mains to do right now. Kria is almost finishing, so I don't think it's a good one to start now, but we have been farming that a lot. In terms of the narrative of Ethereum killer or Solana killer, I really don't agree with that narrative itself. I think those narratives appear as hype on different blockchains, and that is seasonal. So basically, a couple of months ago, it was all around Telegram. Right now, Toncoin is a little asleep. Right now, nobody thinks that Ethereum is going to pump. I'm sure that it's going to pump, and we are going to see hype there again. So I think there are going to be many good blockchains that are going to compete, but I don't really care about the narrative of one network killing another. I think that's just moments on hype of the different narrative. For example, SUI was really bad when they didn't do an airdrop. There was many hate on the community, even in the SUI community itself, and I was part of that because I farmed that and I didn't get anything. But after that, it was basically dead. It was not much movement on SUI, and on the last 4 or 5 months is that we rise like a very big blockchain, and they have the money, they have the people, they have the team, the connections, so it's going to do well on this bull run. But I don't buy that narrative of one network killing another. I think that's just hype. But I think Aptos and SUI are both good for airdrops. I still am bullish on Aptos. To be honest, I was chilling that maybe we will have an airdrop before the end of the year, and didn't happen. Theoretically, they have a lot of funds to do an airdrop, and they didn't do in the anniversary of the mainnet 1 month ago. But I'm still expecting an airdrop from there, and I think it's going to be great because nobody's farming Aptos right now. So the ones that we are doing it probably are going to be rewarded. If you search. If you look for search on YouTube or Google about Aptos and the different protocols that you can do airdrops right now, it's really under the radar. Yeah.
Super bullish then. Amazing. All right.
Can I ask a couple of questions? Because I'm not super familiar, but I've got a couple of questions, Santiago. So with SUI, I know there was no airdrop, but weren't early people that were in Discord, weren't they given the opportunity to go and buy SUI at a very discounted rate?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Whoever was in...
I didn't enter into that. It was a random shuffle, so it was a limit number of people only. So actually, in terms of all the people following the community over the last year, because I farmed like 1 year on the testnets and everything on SUI. So the amount of people that was able to bought the token very cheap, it was really low amount, a couple of thousand people.
You had to be in Discord before February 6th of 2023, and then you would be able to participate. Bybit had 0.03 cents, KuCoin had 0.1, and there was another one who had 0.1. So yeah, you could turn like $50 into over 2,000. So it was technically an airdrop. So I wasn't that salty about SUI the first year. But then, yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't. It was just fine.
But remember that even that it was a shuffle. Not everyone. I was in Discord before that date also, but I didn't get into that.
It was a lottery ticket kind of. Okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it was not for everyone.
The second question I had, Santiago, is so you said you're expecting Aptos to literally go and airdrop Aptos tokens to users on Aptos.
Yeah. The Aptos airdrop number 1 was one of the biggest. I think it was like in the same level that Arbitrum. It was millions of dollars.
It was just 20 million tokens, so it was not that much. It was just 2% of the supply, if I remember correctly. But it was given to a little amount of people. Only about 100,000 people qualified. So it was a good one, but not the greatest. We still have huge amounts of supply left. We have like 49% still left. It was great because nobody did it. So those of us who got it, we got these numbers. It was actually the first airdrop that started this whole journey. It was 15 minutes for like over $1,000 from Aptos per wallet. So I was like, man, we should do this more often. So yeah, that's how it all started.
It was a couple of millions. It was a lot of money because it was 2 years ago. So airdrops was a little not the hot topic yet. So it's not the same that right now on that moment. True. I did a video calculating all the money and everything on that airdrop. It was a lot of money. Yeah. The thing is that they have like initially on the tokenomics like 38 or 40% of tokens for airdrop, and they did a 2% airdrop only. So theoretically, they have 38% for airdrops or rewards, and we already passed it more than 1 year, and we didn't have an airdrop yet. So
does it say? Does it say for airdrops or does it say for community? So in other words, it could be for like grants.
Yeah, it's community. It's community.
Okay. So, but still half of the supply. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, for the most part, I would love to touch on some of these topics for Meteora because I think people are mostly interested for that, how to make absurd amount of fees and qualify for airdrops. So we've done a couple of these already before, but the safe way to do it is just to go with Sol USDC, and usually like $30 range minimizes your impermanent loss, but it's also kind of not great fees. I don't know, Seb, how much were you earning on Sol USDC on Meteora? It's less than 1% a day, like 0.3, 0.4 a day, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not yeah. You get some really busy days where it's like 1.5 potentially, but generally it's it's under 1%.
Yeah. So that is one way to do it. I know, Santiago, you like that strategy, and you were also talking about stablecoin pairs, maybe. Like, have any of you LP stablecoins on Meteora? Is that potentially lucrative as well? Like,
I am doing a lot of tests on Meteora, so I have many different pools, even in the same pairs. I am testing a lot. I'm starting very conservative, but for me it's funny that sometimes like 1% on fees looks like it's a small amount because it's crazy if you think about the percentage monthly. For example, I have one pool on Meteora. It was $500 only in Sol USDT with 100 pin. So I had a very big range. I didn't need to arrange or move anything there because it was still open even with this dump on Solana. And one thing that I mentioned in our private Discord is that I feel comfortable with that impermanent loss on having more Solana at this point because I think that it's going to recover about $200. So I didn't feel any panic on that. But I already have like $50 on fee for $500 on the pool. And I am not even finishing the first month of that. So that is already a 10% in less than a month. So that is crazy. Nobody in our current financial system can get 10% in less than a month. So in crypto, maybe you think that you can do better. And of course you can in Meteora, it's crazy. But
we'll get there, don't worry.
Yeah, with these conservative values, I am like super happy. So the other pool that I'm trying is $10,000 in the pool of USDT, USDC. It's very important, the volume there. You basically can say you don't have risk because it's two stable coins. But I'm trying to know how much fees you can get in a month with this low volume, which is 1 million right now, around 1-2 million. 2 weeks ago, we have 12 million in volume on the same pool. So yeah, it will depend a lot of the volume that we have in that particular pool. But I want to know exactly with a very, very low risk, except that Meteora is hacked, how much money you can get for $10,000 that you just have there doing nothing, but it's in Meteora getting fees. So yeah, I'm just testing a lot of things, and I know there are not the more profitable things. So you can talk about more risky stuff, Boris.
All right, let me just share screen really quickly on some of the crazy, slightly more riskier stuff that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. So of course, we don't recommend this almost ever, but this is one of my wallets, and this was Fartcoin. It's almost got half of the fees of the liquidity. So yeah, it is ridiculous. If you can manage to get these high volume pairs, for example, you can go directly on Dex Screener, for example, in directly here. Okay, it's gonna ask for the connection. But anyway, Santiago, if you're gonna be farming Meteora, I recommend you use at least one wallet with these full risk-on strategies, because like it's just ridiculous. For example, this one has more in fees than it has in liquidity. So yeah, you're gonna generate so much more Meteora points if you're just doing one risk-on strategy. So I know it's harder to manage and everything, but yeah, it's highly recommended to at least explore that. There are
Yeah,
some,
I mean,
have you guys been spending some time in Meteora Discord when it comes to, for example, like the degen strategies where they talk about all the new launches and that kind of stuff, or not really?
I have one good pair with Pengu and Solana that is doing very well right now. But
Pengu, okay. What's Pengu doing now? Is it above 4 cents? Under 4 cents?
It's under 4 cents, so like
yeah,
3.5 or so.
Yeah, but it was around 4 cents a couple of days also. Has some volatility. Yeah, I understand the strategy, and I am in a couple of other more risky pools. But for example, I wouldn't like to have Farcoin for this bull run, to be honest. So
excuse me, this is going against my religion. No, I'm joking. I understand. It's a very small part of your portfolio, but
yeah,
you understand. Everybody knows that Meteora is fee based, so every dollar in fees is like $1,000 in liquidity. So that was my principal logic that allowed me this kind of, okay, even if I lose like a lot, like I lost like 6-7K in hyperliquid on liquidations, but it was all super worth it with the airdrop. So that was kind of my way. Okay, I have this amount of budget to play with. It's a very small part of my portfolio, but I want to generate maximum fees to speculate on airdrop. So that was just my logic for going in these risk-on pools. So, and if take is a profit, maybe we're onto something with Fartcoin. Probably not, but you know, it's fun to have a little bit of exposure to these absurd side of crypto, completely left curving everything. So it's just one week.
I am agree with that, but it's what you say, you know, you need to have your strategy, and you need to have more than one probably, and dedicate some amount of money to each of those strategies. The thing that I don't like is when people just jump into things without knowing, and that's the way that you lose your money. If you say, well, I will have one strategy that is $5,000 because I want to, like you say, right, generate as much as points that I can for this airdrop, etc. You know what you are doing. That is very different.
It has to be percentage based, and you know, greed cannot take part in this. It's very important. But yeah, just a note on that. Have you played around with these risky pools on Meteora, Seb?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, a little bit. And I'm trying to actually do it far more, not full time, but like a decent chunk. You even have one person in the team that's, you know, putting a lot of their time into it. And I do have some ideas for the new listener. If I was going to jump in now, first I'll just learn the basics, but I would do the LP Army Bootcamp, which is done monthly or every couple of weeks. And then if you want to get good at it, you're probably looking at like 4 hours a day. You could go a little bit less, but if you actually just kind of obsess over it, this is probably your best chance with different communities where you're doing stuff, but they put out a contract. You're looking at things such as, has there been, you know, $1 million worth of liquidity $1 million worth of volume in the past 30 minutes as an example, then you know there's something happening. And then if you do a little bit of TA on it and you see that there's a range or it looks like it's kind of climbing, then you can get in, and then you can get out. You don't want to be too greedy. If the pool fails, if it goes down in value, then you sell back to Sol or USDC, whatever your asset is. If it goes up and the meme coin or whatever token you held sells out, you can go back in if you think the range is good. You do really need to understand the ranges. And I do think it's probably the easiest thing to go from, you know, $10,000 into $1 million or something. I mean, there's still like a lot to learn, but it's not luck based. Like, it's just like, It's just strategy, and you pick some winners, you get out of your losers. It's kind of like that, as opposed to if you want to try and turn $10,000 into $1 million with meme coins, 99% of people will fail on that. I just wanted to quickly share my screen on this person who I've never spoken to this person, but this person is a bit of a goat when it comes to DLMMing. So this is Prosper. Have you ever seen this person's Twitter?
No, but I will now. Holy smoke! Wow.
So they're going with size. Their size is not our size. And like you can see, this is 254,000. Something this big, you could track the wallet. I'm not sure if they use different wallets. They had this liquidity pool open for 1 hour and 16 minutes and 43 seconds, and they made a profit of $115,000 on this Slinky in USDC token. There's another Slinky. I have no idea what this is. This is 12 hours, 45 minutes, 103% P&L.
Can I say this is like Solana Blockchain Explorer, but with AI. I've been in this pool also for a couple of days. It's one of the winners. But
nice.
Yeah. No idea, really.
It's important to know that there are losses out there as well. This wasn't in there, and the reason why this would have lost is because this token tanked. So you still need a strategy. You still need to know, how much are you putting in. And I'm not saying copy what this person is doing, but you will see good people that are doing stuff that they're doing it really well. And after, when you find some winners, some people that are good at it, you get in. I think the biggest thing is you don't get greedy. And then when you exit a pool, you swap back to Sol or USDC. You do not keep on holding that OG chill guy in case it moons. Like you're not trying to have upside in memes. If you've done well, maybe you take a small percentage and you hold that meme coin and you set some sell target if you want, but you want to just don't get greedy. That's how I'm personally doing it. And I would love to be in a situation, not the too distant future where there's 20,000 to liquidity pools, it prints 10, 15,000 and you get out. That's what I think.
Sweet. So yeah, we've touched on a lot of these topics regarding Meteora. Maybe we can go super quickly around some of the more promising projects that you can LP, and then maybe segue into AI agents to wrap it up. So we have, of course, been LPing something called ARC. Have you guys done some research on ARC? Are you familiar with the technology? What's going on there?
No, but did you have anything that you can pull up on your screen, or did you want me to pull up the Twitter or something?
Yeah, sure, I can. But it's basically like a virtuals platform. It is a developer-friendly Rust project that basically allows for new agent deployment on Solana through Rust, as far as I understood. So I didn't go in detail through their white paper, but this is essentially what they're trying to build. So it's pretty good. It's like 300 million market cap already. So it's kind of rising steadily. But if it catches up with virtuals, that would be insane. This is a long shot, of course. Virtuals is on base, and it is the main tech in this industry for a reason. They've been building for years, and now it's all coming to fruition. But ARC is doing something very similar on Solana. So this is a project that is maybe a really good one to LP, because when it comes to Meteora, the projects you want to LP is usually the ones with nice, slow, steady uptrend and huge volume, as you were saying earlier. You want to focus on projects with huge volume. And that's why GMG and AI is amazing, because you can see the 1 minute volume, 5 minute volume, hourly volume. It's amazing. With a couple other indicators, it's amazing. Yeah. ARC. Is it dipping nicely? Oh, beautiful. Might get some entries. I've already had some nice entries before, but I'm looking to get some more exposure to this one. Yeah. ARC.
Yeah, you can, AI Recomplex.
There's
one. There's a sizable amount of volume here right now. And then if you come here, this is not a perfectly accurate, but you can see kind of what it's printing per day. So like ARC and Sol, the bigger pools are printing. So this is not, this is decent, of course. It's decent, but it's not amazing. 1.8% in 24 hours compared to printing 77%.
Yeah, in like 20. But again, this is. I would love to talk about more of the other one, little more degen ones, such as like Neuer, Snai, and others, but those are too risky for the channel. We don't want to like expose people to some technology that might be gone tomorrow. For this ARC, I'm slightly more bullish on, because they're actually building something potentially sustainable. So we will see. And basically, it's kind of like a pick and shovel play, because it should not run. Like, you never know in crypto, but yeah, the ones with steady, nice uptrend, that's what you love to see. So yeah, just in general. And yeah, this is This all started with Virtual's platform. Let me just share my screen really quickly. Santiago, you're also familiar with what's going on with Virtuals on Base, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I plan to do some couple of videos around those type of airdrops too, on AI agents and
Amazing.
all that.
Yeah, because it's already like way past $3 billion in market cap. It's absolutely crazy. And like, I'm so grateful for Meteora for actually going into this a little more deeper, because of course AIXBT is hilarious. It's actually amazing because key opinion leaders are kind of losing their jobs through this one. It's ridiculous. But yeah, everybody can do their own research on this. Luna is very interesting. There's a lot of listing speculation for Luna because it was recently listed on Ascendex, and we know that when exchanges list these things, they tend to rocket in price and value. And one thing I noticed for Virtuals, it is listed on Bybit and other exchanges, but it's not on Binance and Coinbase just yet. So I'm probably gonna size up in Virtuals again one of these days because it's actually crazy. And yeah, we can talk about technology and all of these things, but yeah, basically Luna is an influencer wannabe. 100K followers is the goal, and she's doing everything. And again, we are not nearly technical as other people who have already covered this before. So I would just love to use this video as a segue for people to actually research this in much more detail, because something that's going on here with AI agents just interacting between each other and basically potentially raising the level of economic efficiency of the planet over the next couple of years. If we thought AI and crypto gaming was like a revolution of the past, maybe the AI agents interaction and just possibilities that they can do, that could actually be something to get really super excited about and maybe even profit from. Because yeah, some of these frameworks are crazy. The stuff that they're implementing, and just developers it's open source. All of it is open source. So people have an unlimited opportunity for creativity in this space. Again, this is not to necessarily talk about this all the time because it's very new, but maybe just quick overview of what you guys think about this space and where it's going in 2025.
I like virtuals. I don't have the token. I don't think I'm going to buy it soon, but I like how it works and the utility of the token, because as much AI agents on the screen that you show continue interacting and continue launching tokens and all that, really increase the price of the virtual token to power everything.
Yeah.
So that's really good utility. If you check the chart of virtuals, they went in October. At the end of October, it was like 10 cents the token. Right now it's at $3.71. So it's crazy outside.
It was $3 yesterday. Absurd.
Yeah, right now it's
Wow.
$3.71. It's a very hype chart if you check it. At position 41 right now.
There's a lot of speculation for airdrops, like that those launches are actually going to get airdrops for Virtuals holders. But again, we will see what the future brings. I'm mostly bullish on potential exchange listings. This is why I'm holding a sizable part of my portfolio in these AI agents, because it's just kind of an easy play to make. Like Luna is up 50% on the daily. So these things are very risky. So maybe don't size in all at once, just maybe DCAing in is a good approach if anybody's planning to do that. And yeah, this is just a huge arena. I would just like to mention, perhaps, guys, you know Bankless, right? They're covering AI agents on the weekly basis, and it's just crazy how much you can learn just from people discussing these topics in interviews. And they actually had a CEO of Virtuals platform a couple of days ago, and that interview was absolutely crazy. He's referring to Virtuals as a country and the Virtuals token as a currency. Imagine, like, actual self-sustaining economies within AI agent space. I think it's going to be huge in 2025, and not just from airdrops, but just from portfolio management side of things. It's irresponsible not to research this in detail, because meta seems to be shifting very rapidly in that direction. We'll see. I will just share my screen one last time so that I can give my 3 topics on what's maybe interesting. So made a Twitter thread just a couple days ago where it's basically showing you like TLDR on AI agents meta, and these are like top 3 picks which are doing something innovative. I'm not like advocating that there's a good tokens to buy or anything, but it's just giving you a general overview of where it's heading right now and what are potential possibilities. So we've talked about ARC extensively already. So it basically allows you, it's Virtuals on Sol, TLDR. Then this swarms, AI agent swarms, they're also something amazing because they allow for other agents to function more appropriately. They aggregate data and they can channel it to other agents to improve their functions. And then there's Spore. Spore is ridiculous. It is a self-propagating AI agent, which is just going to use like some kind of natural selection that the best agent with best functions, best traits, it's actually going to potentially survive through this crazy evolutionary ordeal. They literally self-destroy if they're not doing very well, right? So they need to bond, they need to get 500K in market cap to bond on their platform, and then they can, if they're good, if they have good traits, either people are using it, they're good functions, it's crazy. But these are just like some of the 3 ways that people can try to understand where this meta is going. It's wild. And I would love for developers to watch these things to understand what's possible, because as scary as future is, it's also amazing. So yeah, like sports now, it's wild, super wild. Just a final note maybe.
Great.
Yeah, I agree that AI is no one should be fading AI. It is scary if you really look into it. It is, super artificial intelligence is scary, but look, you need to use as many AI tools as you can. And I think this is a far better narrative and meta than just freaking meme coins pumped by insiders. So
Agreed.
I'll take it. If this is the meta or narrative, I'll take it.
People need something to believe in, essentially. So sometimes you have to convert people through technology into memes and the other way around. But anyway, that's my take on all this stuff. Amazing. It was great to share some insights and knowledge from your end, Seb, and it was great to have you here. We will hoping to do some more in the future, but for now, we have covered everything on Meteora, some other promising ecosystems, maybe some airdrop targets for 2025, as well as touching on why the AI agent meta could actually be huge in 2025 and how to combine maybe the best opportunities in this space. But again, we are incredibly early for this. There's going to be a lot of rugs, a lot of problems, but getting some projects at these market caps could actually be very, very profitable in the long term. So
I agree.
from our end, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. We will see you in our Discord. And maybe Seb, where can people find you? We can share some links, maybe X or some other.
Yeah, just Seb Montgomery, just on X and also on YouTube. That's just my name, and that's what my tag is. Easy to remember, easy to find.
Awesome. As always, the video links are always going to be in the first link of the description of the video, so you can find everything at ease. Thank you,
Brilliant.
and till next time, have an amazing new year, and see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.